Good evening. It is Monday, February 25th at 6 p.m. This meeting will be held at Winthrop High School in room 142, and it is being recorded live. Miss Howell, will you please call the roll? Ms. Eccles?
So, Mr. Becky, or I can do it?
Present.
Are you doing it or me?
Oh. Mr. Fabiano.
Sorry.
Here.
Mr. Perrin.
Here.
Mr. Capibianco.
Here.
Ms. Swope.
Here.
Ms. Powell.
Present.
Thank you. It's hard for me to lane change in the middle of a sentence, so thank you, Susan.
Mr. Chair, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Am I doing the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comment this evening? I don't believe we have any delegates and visitors. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 4th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
Second by Mr. Vecchia. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? One abstention. The ayes have it. The motion is approved. Moving on, we have warrant SVW 19-13, amount of $401,000, $3.63. Do I have a motion to approve the warrant? Motion by Ms. Swope. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Powell. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. So we have two payroll warrants, SPW 19-10, the amount of $752,332.37, and payroll warrant SPW 19-11, the amount of $694,061.93. Motion to approve the payroll warrants.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Powell, second by President Vecchia. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. The motion is approved. But we do have one budget transfer in the amount of $35,068.45. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by President Vecchia, seconded by Ms. Swope. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. The motion is approved. We do have 3 buildings and grounds requests, one from Boston Taekwondo for a belt ceremony, Winthrop Public Library for a Winthrop Engages event, and the Winthrop Youth Lacrosse Games.
Motion to accept them all together.
We have a motion to accept them all together, and a second by President Vecchia. I would like to amend the motion to waive the rental fee for the Winthrop Public Library request. So, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. Moving on, subcommittee reports. Mr. Martucci isn't here, so let's move on. You gonna do
Buildings and grounds. Yep.
Okay.
So we had a Buildings and Grounds Committee today at 5 o'clock. Myself, Suzanne, Lisa, Susan, and Jen were there. We discussed the options that we had for the coming school playground and how we want to go forward. We had 2 different quotes. We took a vote on one of the quotes that we're going to recommend to the full committee, and that will be in your packet for next week. We'd like to try to get you that information a little bit sooner if we can, so you guys can look it over a little bit, have a little bit more time. So that will be in there, and that's it.
Thank you. Thank you for the work we've been doing on that. I know that's something we've all been trying to get improved.
Yeah, Mrs. Howard certainly has put a lot of time into it.
It's been interesting, though. I've learned a lot about parks and playgrounds and swings and bounceability off the surface, and also about the different options in the playgrounds. And with this particular playground, it's the last playground to be done in the community over a long period of time. They started a rotation in the community of replacing the playgrounds, and they've done a beautiful job. And we have some great playgrounds in the community. This particular playground gets a lot of use on non-school time by the community. So I think that in doing it is definitely going to be a plus for the school district and the town. And bringing it up to speed in terms of accessibility is a priority as well, given the amount of use it gets. So I'm happy to do the work, and certainly we'll be happy to move forward in any way the committee decides after the next meeting.
Thank you. Superintendent's report, Sally?
Yes, tonight I would like to take a few minutes to go through my superintendent's report in a little bit more in-depth than typically. I've taken a different approach to presenting the information, and I'd like to begin tonight by touching on a few of the priorities of the strategic plan and giving you an update on the different schools and how the schools have been doing in terms of looking at the strategic plan and the priorities that we've set, so some of the accomplishments that we've made. So under teaching all students in a safe and welcoming environment, which is one of our priorities, some of the things that have been happening in the school, the SMART plan continues to be definitely an inclusive program teaching sensitivity and diversity, and Ms. Pearson has been working with the staff on taking it to the next level for next school year with different priorities around inclusion and diversity. So more to come on that, but that is part of the SMART plan at the Gorman Fort Banks. Most recently at the Arthur T. Cummings and at the middle school, Jackie Lamont from the DA's office has come in and presented to our students some information on how to stay safe online and when you are using your smartphones or if you are on the computer. They presented a Stop, Block, and Talk campaign song that can be reviewed on the Instagram page at Stop, Block, and Talk, and I'll provide you all with that information at the end of the meeting. The students learned a song, and the song helps for them to retain some pretty critical information about how to stay safe when using social media. Diversity and inclusion as well at the Cummings continues. On December 5th, the Winthrop Parents Network hosted an international night in the Arthur T. Cummings Cafetorium. It was a great night to celebrate diversity with food, different types of food, music, and clothing. We had over 200 people attend. They continue also to run their Kindness Club monthly. That is run by Adjustment Counselor Anita Preble, and she is hoping and working hard to develop strategies and use different techniques with our students to promote kindness within the school and outside of the school. At the high school level, 9th graders continue the Olveus bullying curriculum during their advisory block, and Wellness Week is scheduled for April 8th through the 12th. I'll provide you all with details of those dates as well. They'll have several speakers during that night, and the focus and topics will be around substance abuse, physical health, mental health, healthy relationships, and inclusion opportunities. Another big ticket item that we have just started to work with the state on is biliteracy recognition. So the state has a seal of biliteracy, and that is for our students as they graduate who show competency in 2 different languages or more. And at first, one would think that that would just be perhaps our ELL students, and it is not. It's more, it's ELL students that come into the country, come to school here, maybe come speaking one language, learn the English language, and if they can prove their competencies in both languages, they will receive a biliteracy recognition on their diploma. But it's also for students who have completed 4 years of Spanish at Winthrop High School successfully, and will certainly also be a part of that program and be able to achieve that seal. The one group that didn't come to mind for me is our students that come to Winthrop High School already fluent in another language. So not necessarily coming here to learn a language in the school, but students, for instance, that have come here from Albania, maybe Spain, maybe Mexico, and they already speak fluent language of their country of origin, and then without taking any coursework here, also have come here with English speaking as a second language for themselves. And so they're not necessarily involved in our ELL programming because they don't need to be, because they are already fluent in 2 languages. So more to come on that from Mr. Crombie. He's going to give you a presentation on our commitment to recognize that with the new state seal. So that's an exciting project for us. Some information around priority number 2 for us, which is high quality, rigorous instruction and curriculum alignment. We have done at the Gorman Fort Banks, curriculum development is the focus of all the goals of the teachers in that building, and based on grade level, each grade level has a goal for their grade level around alignment. And so their vertical data meetings are focused on discussion about curriculum and each month they replace one of their horizontal common planning times with a vertical alignment meeting. Each month I get from Ms. Pearson an update on how that went and how folks are feeling that change, because they haven't had those discussions in a formal setting, and it is part of the goals of their common planning time. We have also been fortunate at the Fort Banks, when we're speaking about curriculum and alignment, to be asked to participate in the second year of the Harvard Learning Study, Early Learning Study. Last year we completed year one of it. It was a voluntary learning study in collaboration with Harvard around our early learners and reading. And they have asked if they could keep us on for a second year. They'd come out and they evaluate our students for us with parent permission and make some recommendations for our reading program. They also provide professional development to our reading teachers. So we're going to continue to work with them. They report back directly to Ms. Pearson, who shares the information with the staff. So Winthrop Middle School, I asked Mr. Curley to give us some information on his common planning time. We've had lots of discussion about it and what happens during common planning time. So they've created Mondays and Fridays to continue to be their common planning time for teachers, where they sit together and develop lesson plans, do lots of data review, and make adjustments to the practice in each classroom. The conversations, he believes, are definitely engaging, and the teachers are appreciative of the time that they have to spend together. They've recently held grade level assemblies to celebrate their growth in ELA and math based on their internal assessments that they've shared. And they have recently had their school-wide spelling bee and geography bee, which I know some folks here were at each one of those. As far as the high school is concerned, just an idea of what's happening with vertical and horizontal curriculum discussions there. Vertical discussions regarding curriculum next week will be with the guidance counselors and their lead teachers, where they'll be going into 8th grade classrooms and reviewing the course selection process. Lead teachers have been in contact with grade 8 teachers over the past several weeks to discuss appropriate recommendations for students based on their current progress and the demands of the high school curriculum. And just a few other little items. Professional development, things that have been happening in professional development across the district. All schools are engaged in the ALICE training. The next group is the Gorman-Fort Banks and Arthur T. Cummings School are going to be participating on the same day. They have, typically we've done them one school per day with the teaching staff, and on the 4th, I believe, of March, we will be doing 2 schools at once. Chief Delahanty was able to get extra instructors to come out so that we could make sure we trained the widest amount of people that we could before the end of the school year. On December 5th, PD was focused at the Cummings School on practice for standards-based instructions in SMART EDU, which is our professional development planning for our teaching staff, and it's a way for them to keep track of their professional development plans and be able to have the principals look at that to make sure they're staying on track in terms of their licensure. We also had Dr. Murphy, who is our assistant principal at the Cummings School, led PD in zones of regulation and making math accessible for EL students and for EL teachers and inclusion teachers to participate. She did a district-wide PD on creating trauma-informed classroom, and that PD is going to be spread to all teachers in the district as of next week. This month's staff meeting is covering the safety and security protocols for the upcoming MCAS testing. So teachers will all review the rules and regulations around MCAS. That includes ESPs, who in many cases oversee the instruction of some of our students in terms of directions and following the process throughout the MCAS testing. So we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page about what they're able to and not able to do with our students while we're giving that test. So those are just a few of the items that I wanted to touch on. I also want to remind folks of some of the important dates coming forward for us. We have a wealth of things happening this Tuesday. It just so happens that there are many things on one day. So on February 26th, we have our boys playoff hockey game at 8 o'clock in Woburn, and the boys playoff basketball game on the same night at 7 o'clock in Brookline. And to confuse matters more, on Tuesday, we also have our History Fair and Science Expo here at the high school that evening. Mr. Crombie was doing some discussion today with the staff as to whether or not we wanted to change the History Day Fair and Science Expo, and I believe both the staff and the students felt like they'd put so much time and planning into that activity. Not every student attends a basketball game or a hockey game, and although we want to support our staff, we also have some really neat academic programming happening that night that had been scheduled before the playoffs. So as of today, the plan was for that to continue on the 26th. The girls hockey program, they have their first playoff game on February 27th. That's going to be at 5 o'clock in Peabody. This weekend, we have the State Drama Festival all day on Saturday. I can tell you I have attended it, and it's a great day to take in if you are around and you can pop in. Our students are performing. You can see some amazing performances and get to see how different schools perform on stage, and certainly get to take a peek at one heck of a drama program here in Winthrop. The last year when I attended it, not only did our students do amazing, as they always do, the feedback when it was here that I received as I was walking around the building, just kind of checking things out, lots of parents just standing around saying, wow, the school's beautiful. Wow, look at how clean it is. I can't believe they must have cleaned it for us. And I kept saying, the school looks like this all the time. You know, we take pride in the school, and it typically looks like this every day. So it was sort of a boost to hear people saying how nice our school was. So beautiful school, great kids, talented. So it's not a bad day. So if you'd like to come to that, you definitely will not be, you won't be bored. And I think you will be surprised at how many other talented kids there are. And then just a few other little items. March 6th, the Winthrop Parents Network, run by Anita Preble. Its community network is presenting Money Matters. It's a family event for the elementary school where students are coming to sit with their parents to talk about how to spend your money and how to create a budget as a third grader or a fourth grader or a fifth grader. I'm going to go because I could use the budget training myself. March 9th, we have the middle school quiz bowl, and March 14th is going to be full court frenzy here at the middle school. Patty will have all the dates and times put together in a calendar for you so that you're able to see them. And last but not least, preschool. Preschool registration began on February 1st and is going to run through February 28th. We are keeping a very close eye on preschool registration, as well as our early intervention notifications of students who we will be receiving as students in need of IEP support services through early intervention. That's going to help us determine what our classes are going to look like next year, as this committee knows and has asked for, and as the town council has asked for. Our goal is to return a program here to the high school and make use of our preschool classroom and preschool playground. What that is going to look like is going to be determined by the number of students that we have who register for preschool and how we can reconfigure those classes. The second we have all those numbers in place, that team will sit back down together and create classrooms and have some discussions with Ms. Pearson, who's our early childhood principal, to determine what might be the best fit for a program here at the high school. Mr. Crombie is fully immersed in that conversation as well, and looking at how we're going to roll that out here with some of our students for mentors, being mentors in the classroom and getting some early childhood education experience. And that's the longest superintendent report I've given in a while. However,
Mrs. Swope?
yes.
Yes, I had a couple of parents ask if, would it all be possible to charge parents on a monthly basis for preschool, or is that
We
out
do
of the
that
question?
now.
So we do it now. That was a recommendation that came last year.
Last-
I think Mr. Capabianco brought that up last year,
Yeah.
and we worked with Susan and with the town to set up a payment plan, because it's a large amount of money to come up with up front.
Right.
And so to be able to have a staggered payment plan was a great suggestion,
Great, I'll
and
pass
we
that
put
on.
that in
Thank you.
place. Thank you.
Personnel? Howard?
Personnel, we have no appointments or resignations to report at this time, or retirements. And we do have a couple of postings. We have an opening for a kitchen worker, and so that has been, we'd like to post that. and that would be at the Gorman Fort Banks. And we've also, has been practiced now for a year and a half, posted our athletic positions for the upcoming season. Our upcoming season is the fall. So our spring season has been posted prior, and those positions have been filled, and we're now posting for fall athletics. And in those positions, we have posted a volleyball coach as of now, and a cross-country head coach, and a head coach for JV girls lacrosse. And we have no leaves of absence to report at this time.
Public comment? Public relations, President Vecchia?
Nothing here.
Just congratulations to the boys hockey team on winning the NEC conference,
And Coach Dale,
and Coach Dale,
Coach of the Year.
Yes. Nothing for me.
Yesterday, President Vecchia and I attended a wonderful event. We want to thank Alex, Marissa Ferrara, Jen Hormill, and everyone involved in the Winthrop Vikings football cheerleading end of the year breakup banquet. Just a fun event, fun morning, great event, and happy to be there.
And the Winthrop Drama Fest, that is on Saturday, their performance is at 2 o'clock for people who want to attend, and if you can't make it on Saturday, the students are performing a public performance on Thursday night at 8 p.m. That is free by donation.
This Thursday, right?
This Thursday, the 28th.
I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargain, and anticipate that the meeting adjourns from executive session. Second?
Second motion.
Second by Mr. Fabiano. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Roll call. Do a roll call vote.
Roll call.
Roll call. So, roll call vote, Mr. Vecchia?
Yes.
Mr. Fabiano?
Yes.
Mr. Perrin?
Yes.
Mr. Capabianco?
Yes,
Ms. Swope?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes.
the motion is adopted.